welcome to my very first video on this channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you never miss one of my videos. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 tips that you can use inside your classroom to better assist your children inside your classroom and overall be a better teacher. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So my number one tip would be flexible. Flexibility. And be flexible with your time, your schedule, and your lesson plans. So being flexible with your time is not everything's gonna go the way you plan. Don't get frustrated and don't get overwhelmed if you didn't finish everything that you had planned for the day. You can always get back to it later on in the year. Number two is having patience. Now this is key for working with kids. You need patience, and I'm talking a lot of it, because no matter what age you're working with, no matter where you're working, it could be in a school district, it could be in a daycare, it could be at a home. If you're a home licensed provider, you're gonna need patience. And it doesn't matter the age either, because from the youngest to the oldest kid you're teaching, you're gonna need it. So making sure that you're a very patient person. And I'm not talking about you have to be like the most patient person on earth, but you know, growing and developing those patient habits and applying them to your teaching and in your classroom would really help you out a lot. Tip number three is to plan your lessons ahead. So what I mean by that is to maybe look at your curriculum, plan for those visual learners, plan for those hands-on learners, plan for like all the learners you have in your classroom, because every kid don't learn the same. So plan ahead, make it engaging and make it fun. So that way your kids could be more interested in the lesson. So planning ahead will really save you one time, and it will save you the hassle of having to run around the classroom getting your materials and everything like that. Tip number four is to get to know your kids. Get to know your different children in your classroom, because they're not all going to be the same. They're going to be, one might have a behavioral problem and one might be like super shy. So getting to know those kids will really help you as an educator with developing those lessons and having them open up and developing over the year. So getting to know them on a more personal level, and that would also make your connection with them a lot stronger. And if you have a lot stronger connection with them, I guarantee you that the year is going to be a lot easier for you if you really get to know them and build that relationship with them. Tip number five is to get to know your parents in your classrooms. And that helps because getting to know the parents is essential, because you get to know how each parent is different too, and the way that they communicate. Some parents communicate different, and some parents like for you to communicate to them about what's going on in the classroom. Some parents just like to see it on paper. Some parents are like, you know, there's so many different kinds of parents. So getting to know your parents in the classroom would help you build that relationship with them. They begin to trust you, and it just comes for a more smoother year. So really getting to know your parents, that a lot of times you can't go and like have a full-on conversation with them, but just letting them know each day like, hey, this is what little Timmy did, he's doing great, and offer them feedback. Like, let them talk too. Don't shoot just information at them and not providing them time to let them give feedback. Tip number six is to be yourself. Just remember that those are kids you're teaching. They're not gonna judge you. You can be goofy, you can be funny, you can be spontaneous. Just take a deep breath, be yourself, and just teach the kids, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna judge you. So tip number seven is to communicate with your coworkers, communicate with your parents, and communicate with your children in your classroom. This is also very important when it comes to your coworkers, because if you are an opener or a closer inside a daycare, you need to communicate with the opener if you're a closer, letting them know if there's anything that happened in the afternoon that they need to be aware of. Like if one parent left really upset, the morning person needs to be prepared and need to know that, hey, this person left upset because of X, Y, and Z. And also having communication with your director, your supervisor, whoever is higher up than you, because they will be able to like get an insight of what's going on. If you don't say what's going on, then nobody will know and nobody will be able to help you. So communication is key. Tip number 8 is better said than done. I feel like no matter how long you've been teaching, you will never be a pro at this. And that's to leave your personal business, your personal life at the door. And now what I mean is to leave all your personal stuff, your personal life, before you walk into the classroom. Because once you walk in that classroom, it's all about teaching, it's all about those kids. And I'm not saying that you can't, I'm not saying that you have to like completely forget about stuff, because we're humans, we make mistakes and we go through life. But all I'm saying is to not go in the classroom with a bad attitude or stuff, because you know, you're there for the kids, you're there to teach them, you're there for 8-9 hours. So I mean, the best thing that I do is, if I'm going through something, is I suck it up. I pretty much do what I have to do with teaching, and then when I go home, I deal with my personal life. So that's some tips that I do. I know it's better said than done, and no matter how long you've been teaching or in the educational field, you will never master this. There's days where I go into work and I'm just like, I had a rough night, and I go into work, but you know, you just gotta put that smile on your face, put everything behind you, and just keep pushing forward. Tip number 9 is to have an open mind. Now what I mean by that is to go in the classroom and not be stuck on one thing. Like I know for my first year of teaching, I went in there and I was like, this is how this is gonna be, this is how this is gonna be, and I had everything planned out. I didn't leave room to be creative, be flexible, anything like that. And I also wasn't open to my co-workers' ideas and things. So just being open to like opinions, options, creativity. I'm not saying that you have to apply everything that people are throwing at you and apply it in your classroom, but just listening to them and maybe taking chunks, bits and pieces, but overall make it to where you're comfortable in teaching. So my last tip is just to have fun. So that concludes today's video, guys. I hope you found these tips and tricks useful, and I hope you apply them in your classroom. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you never miss another video. I will see you on my next video. Bye.